It's possible to overchill. Lots of notices on the board for things that made sense in the days when the surf was a lot cleaner. Interesting to see what they cared about here. Wonder if any of it matters now. In the old days, this was a port for boats that went under the surf. They helped clog the surf into goo. Toxanol didn't do it on purpose, I don't think. Their machines made a mess, though, and they never cleaned up after themselves. You should be able to find a track here. Just need to keep your eyes open. Hey, you found the track, even around all this goopy goo. Nothing escapes your googly eye. The surf here looked cleaner when that track was made. Old world dive pods had a built-in air supply, so you could breathe below the surf. Glad you had the patience to learn more about how the surf got gooed. Let's see. Gulpo ain't the easiest tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim. Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was. He recalls you wouldn't put in the time required to learn how to swim. He bets you regret that now. Goop says our memory keeps things for us and protects them until we are ready to face them again. He understands you've returned to face Lupa-Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the story you're told about it. He thinks that's the right thing to do. It's only when you have forgiven that you'll find peace.
There's a bright day coming!
Hey, that's going to get you burned.
The only one getting burned around here is you.
That stings.
Oh, do you want some first aid for that?
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices of where to go. Some hard. Hit the open surf then. The trouble is you can only rely on yourself, at least until you reach a new shore and make new friends. Can hardly believe the world is going to make it. Wonders what that's going to do to the goo. Thanks you for doing everything you could to de-goop the surf. Thinks the Myriad made a good match with you. You're both like sunshine on the surf. Never seen any brighter. Shine on. But hey, back to the goo. Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit, so you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. It's not that it won't keep your head above the surface, but it needs improving to carry you across the thick goo out by the Porky Puff. Everything seems to take longer at night. Let's see. That's a resource totem, a monument left behind by those that picked scrap, trying to keep the area clean. That's interesting. Swoop. We are lonesome animals that spend all our life trying to be less lonesome. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Nothing beats the darkness. Someone will pay dearly for that. Smack time. Bullseye. Now that's a flesh wound. Biohazard makes your skin crawl. Keep hammering away. No better time to get moving than daybreak. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surf. The long-lasting effect this had on the evolution of wildlife was, as we know now, the only reason we came to exist. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out. There's debris floating around on the surf that might be blocking your path or needs to be towed. That means you'll need a device so you can get it out of your way. Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks. Squeaky distractions for the triple attentive Porky Puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find quacks. He's not sure, but the quacks are probably a leftover from a cargo surfer that went under in the olden days. The squeaky material must have made them surface when their box broke. The night is ending soon. Had enough of that? Welcome to the Surfipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. Oh, ouch! Personal. Youch! You've had better days. Whatever you do it right, or don't do it at all. See that e-waste? You could use that for sure. You're poking around Pokbur, a prime village. Right where it cuts. The world is full of secrets waiting to be uncovered. Says the tribe Sifu sent them here to help defend against the rival tribe that's been terrorizing their village. Isn't sure how long the village will last if it continues. As if the plague ruining the land and destroying the crops wasn't enough to bring the village to its knees already. That's what they call the blight that's been haunting the land since the old world ended in the apocalypse around here. The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. We'll be around when you return. Says you... Glad you met Goop. Hope you're still smiling about that. Goofy guy. Understands completely. The tree's going to bleed death from its roots if you keep taking her for granted. Says talking to you was interesting. Peddler is eager for you to have a look at the wares. Hopes you're selling too. They're always looking to replenish their store. A new day's here. Might not be so many left. Resources are too few and scarce, at least for now. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Needs a logical reason to reveal the secret. Says it's hard to keep a secret from someone as smart as you. Might as well tell you where the place is, as you'll figure it out eventually. Wonders what could have gotten you out of bed this early in the morning. Says you should take it easy. This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least. You're one with the Myriad tribe in terms of karma. However, when an element is overemphasized, the natural harmony is out of balance. Says you'll see each other later. Thanks you for rising from your past to be a better person. We'll be around when you return. Talks about the merchant at the Dopdu shop who charges too much acorns for a box of Edgewheat. Has plenty to do, so no worries. He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Says it's both everything you could want and never enough. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor. Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, but that's nowhere near as quick and easy. Who wants to stop to chew? Wants to raise a glass to you getting the world fixed up a bit. Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow. Sees why you joined up with the Myriad. They like a peaceful drink, just like you. Says he sells them drinks. They mostly suck them down on their own. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The Glugmocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favorite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportional to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun goes up. Figures the real problem is finding something to drink. He wants you to know he has other interests, too. He's the Surf Epelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching pippies flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax. Says he read that in an old world book. It means you're an expert of all living things that flap and tweet. Let's see. And the open goo before you. A wise investment. Stay dry and steer fast. It's a rare sight. Treasure it. Wildlife here is teetering on the brink of extinction. We all are. The meat eater again. Nothing seems to satiate his hunger. The note is done for unless you intervene. Starting to add up. This won't be a field trip. It's the real thing. Time to over the goo. Leave that ride. Gulp tells you to not forget those quacks. They won't squeeze themselves. Ride it like a rocket. The Quack Hollow. It's just lonely. Under your own power now. This story is about a hero. Super effective. Sharp steel. It's becoming terminal. Nothing gets to you. Stay away from that biohazard. You'll want to wash yourself off for a month. Sharp as your wit. Let's pocket that. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Are you sure this goo glide's safe? The Domp outpost, shined up by the Myriad tribe. Always good to have some wood scrap like that on hand. That's enough quacks to sustain the Googlide flipper with infinite ammunition. Goop says he was there when the Porky Puff took Out-of-Date's leg, so this World Eater has made it personal. After that, Out-of-Date started using his head instead of his legs and came up with the plan on how to best make a stand against the World Eaters, and it wasn't by foot. That's how he got tasked with rebuilding the Googlide. He seems happy to talk. Wishes there was someone big enough to stand up to the Jumbo Puff. Thrilled to know you're on the side of those trying to improve things. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again. He seems happy to talk. Wishes you goodbye. Nice. Some barked wood scrap for you. You can make something from that. That's some sharp wood scrap there. Watch for splinters. hurt 'em. Hack and slash. Hope that was a bad guy. Hold on to that. Yuck! Biohazard. Sickening. Mercadorpus Outpost, a Jagni tribe stronghold. Let's see. Says it's time to set the outpost free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through to the rival captain. Freedom is not worth having in a world that's doomed. Here's the first line of defense. That's a bomb lobber. Back in the spot. Wrecked it. That twirly wheel works that drain pipe. Spin the twirly wheel and open that drain. Everything's clocking together. Stick in the key. Keep going. That cage is holding a helper. They never lost hope you'd come, but weren't sure if they'd last long enough to see it. Says the tribe's been hard on them. Wants revenge on those who caged them, but trust you'll take care of it. A sharpshooter. The scaffolding looks unstable. Better stay clear of the red ray. Here's the second line of defense. Red means danger. Timber. Bet a big bump will bring it down. Switched off the light. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it. Then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks splody. Shoot it and watch it blow. Not kaboom. You're in. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Says you did a great job capturing the outpost. You've earned the privilege of carrying the tribe's weapon. Figures the honor belongs to the tribe, too. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Not sure if you're likable enough to be let in on it. Says you look trustworthy. Might as well tell you where it is. So grateful that you're building things up instead of knocking them down. We'll be around when you return. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Says there's no reason to let you in on where it is. Says there's no reason to make threats. Would have told you about it sooner or later. It's not far from here. The tree remains intact, but you must all make a change to save it. We'll be around when you return. Likes chewing things over with you. Says you're welcome back. Glad to see you stopped keeping to yourself and are actually helping these days. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again. Thinks it's kind of strange you haven't met Lobo yet. You ever ride a blimp? Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Shines happy that the Myriad can count on a friend as bright as you. Says you should take care. Says everything's changing in these dark coming days. Nothing stays the same. Not even houses. Have you heard of Chubza? Such a wild wanderer. Even his hut moves. But he'd have a lot to talk about with a roamer like you. Figures Chubza's seen things. All sorts of things. Things that might help. Says Chubza isn't the sort to wait in one place for you. They might be looking for you, too. You just got to watch for Chubza and his mobile hut. Asks you to tell him they say hi. Says the sound from the mini-metal can drive you crazy. Seems surprised you have to go. Thinks it's weird you haven't met Lobo yet. You should hit the blimp station and put that right. Didn't have much else to say, so nope. Says you were a quiet kid and is happy to see you working toward progress. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Hopes that thing is programmed to be friendly. Understands you have other places you need to go. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right. Says there's no reason to let you in on where it is. Says there's no reason to make threats. Would have told you about it sooner or later. It's not far from here. Shines happy that the myriad can count on a friend as bright as you. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Wishes the world was filled with Bop Bop, rather than Looper Lupin's horrible howls. Recalls seeing a radionic hidden off in the ruins somewhere. Imagine listening to the airwaves from forever away. Figures if it's on, all you have to do is listen. Thinks the radionic had to be close, although they haven't seen it in a while. Just keep your eye out for the radionic. Or maybe your ears. Might take some figuring to get it working if it's broke, but you're up for that. Figures that's the smart way to go. Thinks it's a good day and is happy you're a part of it. Says you're welcome back. Claims to have strange things from the dead zone. Sees you're eager to make a deal, but cautions you not to be too eager if you want to make a good deal. Sharp dealing.